Hello, and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode, we watched Dude, Where's My Car? I thought one of you was going to say, "Where's your car, dude?" But no.
No, I refuse to take part in anything to do with this film.
I saw this a couple of times, but a good 10 years ago. Friend of the show, Poppy, showed it to me, and I saw it a couple of times then with her.
I used to watch film a lot as a kid. Like, a lot as a kid. As a mistake.
Yeah, I think I've seen this film before. I think maybe around Dan's, but a long time ago, and probably when we were 4 or 5 movies deep into a movie marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's like, oh, that's on Netflix, let's just put that on because it's 1 a.m.
Another one of those things I wasn't invited to.
No, you were probably
invited.
there. You slept on that shitty sofa.
Invited to.
You could have been at university.
I wasn't invited to.
Okay, next time we have a Dude, Where's My Car party, we'll invite you.
Oh,
A whole party?
We just watched this on repeat and dress up as the characters.
Wow.
I would rather die.
Yeah.
I think.
As
much as I enjoy spending time with you guys, nothing like that.
Yeah. Should we maybe talk about The Thing?
I mean, we can try and go through the plot of the film, but...
No, like the Ashton Kutcher of it all.
Oh, yeah, he's a terrible person.
Yeah. It doesn't open up with Ashton Kutcher is a cunt, and I think that's about it. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think Stifler's alright, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
He seems fine. Who knows?
Yeah, well, we can't even remember his name, so it can't be that.
Sean William Scott?
Sure.
Stop having 3 first names, man.
Again, nowhere near compared to what Ashton Kutcher said, but...
No.
3 first names. Selfish.
I'm just going to check his Wikipedia for the controversy. Drop down.
It'll probably just say starred in Dude, Where's My Car?
He's had some bad films.
Considering this was the year after American Pie as well.
Yeah, he's been in some atrocious movies. And a lot of them we've talked about. We're gradually getting through his entire filmography.
Yeah, it's secretly just Sean William Scott.
Actually,
no, the other movie we've seen with him in is fucking Southland Tales.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about, is he in Ice Age, or is that it? Is it Ice Age 2?
I think he's in any Ice Age.
Sean William Scott podcast with a ton of bonus episodes.
Yeah. Oh, he was in Final Destination as well. The first one.
This is a Sean William Scott podcast. This film.
I feel like this film is some kind of funny joke strung together with complete bullshit.
I can't even think of the funny jokes.
Yeah, I really struggled with this one. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't tick any of my... I was never really into stoner movies.
Yeah. This has aged in the way that I thought American Pie would age.
Mm. Yeah, where it's just
bad. It's aged
just all
horrifically.
Yeah.
And they're so stupid. I know that's no shit, but it's a different kind of stupid. It's a plot stupid.
Yeah, it's irritating kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Because other stoner movies that came out aren't this bad. You have Harold and Kumar. Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies. That's a really good stoner movie.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one actually. Yeah, I enjoyed that, but again, that was ages ago that I watched it.
Quite a bit of it's aged badly, but as a film, it's still kind of entertaining. This film, on the other hand, it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
In the worst way.
Yeah, I think Jim had it on telly. The last time I saw it was Jim had it on TV, and I was half paying attention. Every time I looked up, I was just mildly baffled, and I was like, okay, they're there now, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. So,
and I felt like there was a bit of a cohesive plot when I was watching it in the moment, but now I couldn't possibly tell you.
Yeah, and I mean,
Okay.
even the plot device is they can't remember what happened last night, so they have to go through and work out what it was
Yeah, they
by
have to go and
retracing their
relive.
steps and seeing
It's
what the
stupid.
fuck they did, and it just keeps getting weirder.
Yeah. So the plot is there's two characters. Can't remember the characters' names.
Jesse and Chester. I make plenty of notes for this podcast for this reason.
Cool. You were like, no one's gonna remember this.
No.
That's a good point. They're idiots. They're stoner. Well, they're stoners that never smoke once, right? It's a stoner
Yeah,
movie.
when they
but
go
there's
to
very
that-
little smoking in it.
Yeah, like the
Um,
party implies, I guess, that they were hungover as well.
Yeah, but essentially
But-
they got super pissed. Couldn't remember the night before. They have a fridge stock full of pudding, a lifetime supply of pudding. Which, if you have to keep some of it in the fridge, maybe don't put the rest in the cupboard. I would just remember
Yeah.
thinking that.
Nah, but
Surely-
you
surely
need that
Lifetime-
cold pudding on top.
Like, surely lifetime supply of pudding is you get some every so often, not all in one go.
And how they got it all at once.
Well, I guess maybe how long is it shelf stable? Because if it's good for 12 months, they might just give you your 12 months worth.
But if you need to
In one
put
go.
some of it in the fridge, you kind of have to put all of it in the fridge.
You're assuming that they filled up the fridge and started putting it in the cupboard, whereas I reckon they were putting it in the cupboard and ran out of room, so they put it in the fridge.
So they moved to the fridge.
And then realise that the fridge ones will be nicer because they're a bit cold and they can put others in the fridge once they've had them.
Yeah.
That's too
Sure.
much thought gone into this.
No, I don't think.
And I like this is like the smallest issue that you
Yeah.
could possibly have with this film.
But I mentioned to Dan before we started recording, I do not remember this film at all, but I know it's going to come back to me like war flashbacks, and it is. It's starting to come back to me like war flashbacks.
You're experiencing the movie how the movie is experienced, whereas
Yeah.
like you have no idea what's going on until you get to a certain point, and then you're like,
And
"Oh
then
yeah,
I get the memory.
I remember that they get hit by a car."
When do they get hit
So
by a car?
their girlfriends are like, you need to like give us our birthday present.
The twins.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
and
their first
also their
anniversary
house got
present.
trashed at the party as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, where would the present? We've definitely got them excellent presents. Where are they? They're like, it must be in your car. And then their boss, the pizza guy, turns up, and is like, there was 30 like tons of pizzas that weren't delivered, and it's stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah. I guess it's the implication that they ate the pizzas.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just dumb and pointless. And
They
annoying.
also meet they retrace their steps.
I mean, first they go outside, and the title of the movie happens.
Yeah.
For too long. This film.
That's the other thing, yeah. It's like that and the dude sweet and the sweet dude bit. It's just like, oh my
The
god.
tattoo
shut
scene is the
fuck
funniest
up.
scene in the movie. Like,
No, you're
absolutely.
right. It is the funniest scene in the movie.
Yeah. You might not be wrong.
agree with
I'm
you.
actually not going to disagree with you.
Yeah, that and dude, it's a llama. For some reason, that gets me. But yeah,
Hi. Are we at it again where Dan is like, this film isn't so bad? And me and Hannah are like, absolutely not.
oh no, it wasn't great. There were a couple of bits that were funny, and then other bits where it was like, huh,
What was,
There's
What
a
was
lot
the
of
film?
yikes in
Yeah.
this film.
Yeah. What was the film we did
Yeah.
recently that had this exact?
Kevin and Perry.
Oh yeah, you were like, oh yeah, this was really good. It's not.
Yeah, Kevin and Perry just had more nostalgia than this does, definitely.
This
Yeah.
killed my nostalgia for this film. I had nostalgia for it. I was like, maybe it won't be so bad. And then I watched
Ah.
it, and then
And then you watched it, yeah.
more than
Maybe it won't be
disappointed.
so bad. It should be the second, like the tagline for
The
our
tagline.
podcast.
Yeah,
And like the tagline that's never mentioned.
yeah. We never talk about the tagline. No one talk about the tagline.
That's for our eagle-eyed listeners only. So shall we start with they go to a strip club? Is
Yeah,
that the start?
Oh, that's
And
that's way down the line. First they go to that random guy who gives his dog weed, and there's a terrible dog puppet. And then there's the Chinese food scene, which is weird and
very
racist.
racist. Yeah, they like order Chinese
they
food,
go
and
to-
the joke
yeah.
is like she's like and what else and what
And then-
else
yeah.
and then
and
and then they
there's,
start just
there's,
yelling at each other, but it's like, ugh.
Like, there's no reason for that joke.
No.
I thought it was good. I thought that joke was going. I gave the film too much credit, and I was like, maybe this is part of the night out. Maybe this is part of the thing they don't remember. They caused this to happen. It doesn't. It's just a dumb joke that lasts like way too long.
Yeah. It's just that the person running the Chinese food shop wants them to spend more money, I guess.
There is no reason for it. It's just nonsense. And
that definitely seems like a scene where someone was like, "Hey, wouldn't this be funny?" And they were like, "Yeah," and then there was no context for it, but they were like, "This has got to go somewhere."
I think it was the runtime. I think they were like, "We don't have." I feel like they filmed this film by just filming random disconnected scenes and then being like, "Don't worry, we'll film the main plot and then we'll just fill out the rest with the shit bucket." To get it to an
they were
hour
like,
and
well,
a half.
I feel like after each scene, they were probably like, yeah, this probably won't make the cut. Let's keep filming. And then they realised they couldn't cut enough of it out because then they wouldn't actually be a feature film.
Yeah.
'Cause it's only an hour and 20 minutes as it is.
Yeah, it's just filler. So much of this film. I've never seen a film that is actively trying to fill time. I've never seen a film that bad that they have to tell the same joke for 10 minutes.
It's so aggravating.
It's so annoying.
Okay, so and then they go and they meet. Is it the drug dealer?
He's with them, and then they go and there's this girl that they were apparently with last night. They find a matchbox from the Kitty Cat Club, which is the strip club. And when they go in, all the strippers are like remembering them and had a great time with them all, supposedly.
Is this before or after the like 6 women turn up?
I think that was. Oh no! This is before that. Yeah, because they don't know.
No idea what you guys are talking about.
They
already.
don't know about the quantum transfusion or whatever the fuck it's called yet. So so they go into the strip club, and all the girls there are like, just remembering them, like, because they had a great night with them, and then it gets really transphobic really quickly.
Millions. Oh yeah.
Well, not even our first one, because the first one's the racist scene, but yeah, this is a definite extra yikes.
Oof. It's really weird transphobia as well, because it's not like
it's that concept of like it's gross to be attracted to someone who's transgender because they're transgender, no matter how hot they look in the gender that they present themselves as.
Yeah.
And it's just that doesn't really make sense anymore.
But it's like it doesn't commit fully to being transphobic.
Yeah,
which sounds really bad to say.
It starts off with the, oh, gross, he slept with someone that was actually a guy, and then it becomes this person gave them a fuckload of money and they disappeared with it, basically.
Yeah, but it really hammers home that she is trans.
Yeah.
And like they do the whole deep voice deepening and all that shit. Like it isn't just like a bit of a joke. That's the entire character.
Yeah.
They don't exist outside of that joke, but it doesn't like fully commit to being trans. It's like we have a trans character in our film. It's like, ooh, this is maybe the worst way to do that. But it's like the film really wants to be transphobic about it.
Well, yeah,
like, it really
made in the year 2000. It had to. It was the law.
Yeah. It was like they were filling a quota.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like they're just picking off the things that were funny at the time, which is not great. It's a lot of homophobia, transphobia, and racism.
Was there much homophobia in this?
The knockoff Terminators, they just constantly say gay, I think, as well. Yeah. Again,
but it's not like fully committal to 2000s bigotry. It does really help. I think you're right. It feels like a checklist of shit that should be in this film.
Yeah.
It literally feels, because it's cutting between these things that are happening, and they are literally, it feels like a checklist. Because, they go from that, they go outside. Is that when
No, that's when they then go to the twins' house, and the house is still trashed, and Jennifer Garner is one of their girlfriends.
Yeah, but again, sexy twins.
Yeah, checklist. The misogyny is really,
Mm.
And it's just the how and why are these girls with them?
No, there isn't.
And
no
why are
need
these girls
for-
so like these women are plot devices, but they also seem to be like almost like naggy and demanding.
But
And-
also completely.
But like the
in
reward
love
is
and-
is not. Yeah, they're totally besotted with these two absolute losers, and like want to are like using their like they're just like really overtly sexual in the
But-
like
but
in
in,
like
like-
that teasing way.
in like an
that's-
innocent way.
yeah, it's
Like
so
they have,
icky.
because like the core part is they haven't had sex yet.
Yeah, and it's like
It-
that's what their anniversary gift will be.
Yeah, it's really weird. Why? It's also odd that they're twins that are kind of joined together. They don't exist as separate people. Like they live together,
Yeah.
even though they're like mid to late 20s.
Yeah, how old are the people supposed to be in this film? Because
have
it's an
no
American film,
idea.
it's impossible to tell. Because I was like,
Yeah,
are
I
they
have no
fresh out
idea.
of college? Are they? Because then it's like, okay, like they're experimenting, and it's like, okay, these things happen. You get blackout drunk, and like, of course, your car is your like pretty much your only
Yeah.
asset you might have at like 18.
Yeah,
And
But-
waiting a year to have sex is also like at 18. That's like okay, fair enough.
they're definitely.
Um,
I don't think they're 18. I think they're like mid to late 20s.
Yeah, it's just tragic.
Yeah, and also like it's weird that the guys live like that, and the girlfriends live in like a white picket fence house together
Yeah.
alone. It's weird. It's fucking straight. When you think about this film, it feels so empty and like devoid of any attempt to actually make a film.
Yeah, it's like people were just like, oh, wouldn't this be funny? Wouldn't this be funny? Let's try and make a vague plot around these ideas.
Yeah, and we need to have this, and it needs to have this. Because yeah, they wreck the twins' house. They kick them out.
Yeah, they get kicked out, and then they get kidnapped by the Zoltan people.
Who
Well,
are
they're
the-
like, oh, there was a massive party, and like the girls are like, oh, we've just finished cleaning up, and they're like, oh, we haven't seen the outside.
and you can take the
um,
bins out.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
they try and put
yeah.
all of the bin bags out in one go and end up splitting them and
Getting
getting
stuff
trashing
trash
everywhere.
everywhere. That was
Yeah,
kind of funny-ish at the start, but again, the joke went on way too long.
And the Zoltan people, which are a group of nerdy cultists,
yeah,
have the
including Gale
only
the snail from Always Sunny.
funny joke in this entire film, and it's
Is that
because
them
they
saying
don't.
Zoltan every time someone says Zoltan?
No, because they linger on that. The one joke that they don't linger on is like they go through their names and they all have weird, crazy names, and
Yeah,
one of them is
except Jeff.
just called Jeff,
Yeah.
and that's a joke that they tell multiple times.
Well, yeah,
And
that's,
they-
yeah.
Don't linger on it,
Mm.
and that's funny because yeah, they're
Yeah.
just like they all have these crazy alien names, and then there's Jeff, and it just pauses on Jeff. And then they
Yeah.
move on. And they should have done that with every other fucking joke in this film.
Exactly.
It's almost patronising how often they call back and how long these jokes go on for. It's like
Yeah.
they're expecting their audience to be delayed in understanding what the joke
mean,
is.
It's a
And,
stoner
like you
movie.
need a few minutes to catch up.
It is a stoner movie.
Yeah,
it's
but
such a
that means
low
that
effort.
they're already laughing. You don't have to try
Yeah.
as hard.
It's such a low effort, like, tick the boxes stoner movie. It didn't feel like anyone wanted to make this film.
No. But yeah, the Zoltan people tell them they need to find the Continuum Transfunctioner and then kick them out at a place where they've had special suits made for them.
Yep.
Um,
And
I
they-
do not remember this at all.
They get
this is
where
this is the
the
tattoo
tattoo
scene.
joke.
Yeah,
Okay.
where
'Cause
they
they
notice
go-
they have back tattoos and one says sweet and one says dude.
And then they
That
tell
yeah,
that
again,
joke.
that was funny for like the first 30 seconds of the joke.
Yeah.
And I like
yeah.
the concept of them both getting that. I thought was quite funny
Mm.
as a joke as well. But
And they have, like,
unfortunately, yeah.
the blandest suits. They're
Yeah, it's just
tracksuits.
it's tracksuits. It's just Adidas
Yeah.
tracksuits and one's red and one's blue.
Yeah.
But they've got secret pockets in them and they've got a kaleidoscope, a dove, and a Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
And Jesse has some paper, and they both have cell phones. And apparently, they bought a car. And then there's a really weird rap break in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. I tuned that out. I fully
Wow,
tuned out
yeah,
the rap.
you could be making that up, Dan, and
I could
would
be.
not
Hang
be
on.
able to
We're
tell.
getting to the bit that's kind of the more homophobia, which is when they're in they got this nice car and they pull up next to this like couple, and they're like revving the car at each other, and then the couple kiss, and so the guys kiss as well. And that's the whole joke.
Yeah, remember when the butt of the joke was just, ha, gay.
Yeah.
Look at that gay.
But again, it doesn't commit. And if you're gonna be homophobic, commit to it. Don't fucking pussy out and be like, because the joke is like the couple go, and drive off. Fuck you lost that game.
Yeah.
Oh, chicken. It doesn't commit to it. It's like the characters it feels like the main characters don't exist and they're just going through a film.
Yeah. They're just experiencing something.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the issue with this film, is fundamentally the plot is pretty flawed, because we're having to re-experience something that we didn't get to experience in the first place through the eyes of people who don't really remember what happened.
Or seem to care all that much.
Or care, yeah, like the stakes are so low.
It's a fucking checklist of shit that should be in a film.
And it also really feels almost movie game-esque. Not movie game, what are they called?
Video game.
Video game, that's the one. Esque. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you need but like not a good video game, like a really like an old school like linear video game where you have to get the thing, and then that thing gets you to get to the next bit where you have to take the thing to the thing and then get another thing, and then like by the end of it, like you've gone through all these things, and then you get the final boss fight or whatever. But and then
See, that's a funny way of doing that joke.
it feels half-heartedly, depressingly.
I was going to say, I don't want to toot Iron Horn, but I think our podcast at times can be funnier than Dude, Where's Our Car? Where's our car? Where's my car?
Dude, where's our car? Dude,
where's our car, dude?
This is the communist version.
I can't believe you lost our car, dude. We shared the insurance on that because it's cheaper, dude.
So,
this is where the group of hot women appear.
There are a couple.
I just
want to talk about the film as a whole for a sec. It feels so stupid talking about this film. Like, it feels so dumb to be talking about this film like it's a real film that needs to be talked about.
Yeah,
because it doesn't. It's a stupid movie. It knows it's a stupid movie. But what angers me is that it doesn't feel like anyone making it had any fun making it.
Yeah, it's a bad, like, they're not having a good time.
No.
They're just sort of confused and hungover.
And, like, it's just ticking off shit that needs to be in a stoner movie. Not like they made a good stoner movie because the writers got high. It's just like they watched 1,000 stoner movies and boiled it down to these are the main things. Nobody looks like they're having fun. It just looks stupid. Anyway.
It's almost like they don't really like each other either. Like, there's not really I don't feel any chemistry between the two of them.
Well, yeah, because as far as I'm sure, Sean William Scott isn't a rapist, so
probably not a big fan of Ashton Kutcher.
Well, there's no reason for Ashton Kutcher to like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels so dumb talking about this film because this film is obviously stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just needed to get that. The hot girls.
More misogyny.
They want the same thing that the Zoltan people do, and
they stand in a triangle and they are hot.
And they'll give them oral pleasure if they give them the Continuum Transfunctioner, but they don't know what the Continuum Transfunctioner is. Oh no!
Sure. And then they do the whole bit where they're like, "What if I give you? We get oral pleasure, and I give you the Transfunctioner later?"
Yeah, and then they get arrested, and the police. This bit I did find kind of funny is when it's the police are just beating up a dummy as a threatening thing of we'll do this to you if you don't. Like they're trying to torture them, but not.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess police brutality as a joke also hasn't aged well.
yeah, no.
No, and again, it could have been a funnier joke if it was in a better film with better cast.
Yeah.
Like, if that was in, like, a Leslie Nielsen film, that'd be really funny. Because they'd set up the joke
I feel like
properly.
even the good jokes are absolutely wasted on this film.
Well, they don't
Yeah.
set them up properly.
Yeah.
Like, if they set up that joke like, we can't hit you, but guess what we can do? They don't set up the joke for the payoff. They just do the payoff. And I've never seen that before. Normally it's set up without payoff. They're just doing the payoff.
This film was the payoff from all the other films that only had setup.
They just cut out all of the setup. And again, a lot of the jokes would have just been better in like a Leslie Nielsen film. In like A Naked Gun
Yeah.
or like Dracula and Loving It. No. It's just... But yeah, they
Instead,
find out
we
that
get
they were
this.
the wrong people.
Yeah, they bought donuts for everyone, so they let out, and the real criminals were some massive guy and a dwarf, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they were only arrested because they like matched the description of being two people.
Yeah.
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 And the guy's like, oh, whoops. Anyway, I got your car. Oh, I accidentally impounded it.
Yeah, because he's got massive glasses because he can't see properly. Isn't that funny?
4 eyes.
And yeah, guess what? More
You know, someone
contrived-
called me that once.
Did they actually?
Were they from
Yeah,
the
and
80s?
I was like- Yeah. They were my age. Like it was another kid. Like, and I think I was a tween, maybe a. I started wearing glasses in secondary
Honestly,
school.
Thought you were going to say twink, and I was like,
Yeah, it was at that
Well,
Halloween
yeah.
party.
cool.
Yeah, I just remember being so baffled. It's like, that's not an insult. I wear
Hey.
glasses because my eyesight is not good.
Hey, 4 eyes. Well, yeah. How is that? Yeah.
It just sort of implies that, like, even if you need glasses, you won't wear them if you're cool. Cool people
Yeah.
don't need to see.
Cool people that like blurred vision.
I thought
Cool
my
pe-
eyesight had settled down and I was getting myself ready to start saving up for laser eye surgery, and it got worse again.
Cool people
Yep.
wear contacts.
Now you can't get cool laser eyes.
The thing is, and this is probably the
That was a better joke than the entirety of Food Wars. Like,
I have contacts. I choose not to wear them. Not because I love the inconvenience of having glasses on my face all the time, but because I like to nap, and it's really inconvenient. Like, you're not supposed to sleep with your contacts in.
Yeah, because they might go to the back of your head or something, right?
They just get
No,
lost
it
in
just
your
dries out.
skull.
Your eyes don't get enough oxygen, and like it's bad when your eyes are open, let alone when your eyes are shut.
I didn't know.
Oh.
I didn't know you had to have oxygen in your eyes.
Well, trust me, as someone who put into a lot of research, whether or not you can or should nap when you're wearing contacts.
True.
Like I have bought one box of contacts, and I bought them about a year before I got married
They're probably not
because
good
I wanted to
anymore.
practice wearing them. They seem
Probably not
fine.
great
I think
anymore.
the expiry date's 2024.
Oh, you find them. Wear them all at once. Layer them until they're as thick as your glasses.
Yeah, you'll be able to
yeah,
see
have you
so
seen
well.
Have you seen that video of them removing that person who thought that their contact lenses were falling out at night and was just putting new ones in the morning, but they weren't, and they just they had like 20 contact lenses in their eye,
Ugh.
That's
all
disgusting.
shoved up to the top. They don't get stuck behind the back of your eye because that's not really how eyes work, thankfully. But they got stuck like above where the white of your eye, like above where your eyelid is.
Ooh. All slipped
It's
away,
grim.
like falling into the Paris catacomb. I'm going to explain why.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really less funny to call back to things that we haven't talked about on the pod.
No,
Yeah, it's suitable for this film. We're doing a payoff for something that had no setup. It's fine.
Oh, man.
I'd like that actually if they did have some really funny setups, but they'd cut them all just to have the payoffs for everything they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like how the film is set up of how it should be. You should have the setups as they go back and find out what is happening, and then have the payoffs actually happen to them.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. They could have very cleverly been like, oh yeah, we'll have the payoff. It's the one film, the one setup where they could have the payoff happen and then explain the setup later.
Yeah.
But they don't.
No, of course not. Instead,
Have we got to the ostrich bit yet? This film is
No.
just
It's
it's
so
just like this
boring.
horrible dream that I had 2 weeks ago that I kind of remember enough to want to talk to my therapist about it,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
not enough to really get to the bottom of why I'm so upset about it.
Yeah.
No,
And then
the
we get
next scene is
the car impound.
no, it's the twins helping out at the school for the blind, and then the hot chicks appear, and the blind kid has to touch them to
It's
find out they're
weird.
hot.
That's the whole
Um,
scene, by the way.
The
That's the
blind
whole scene.
baseball bit was a bit funny though, just like throwing a ball at a kid.
Again, that's the whole scene, and then the
Yeah.
girls, the hot girls.
Dan, is that really funny?
What, throwing a ball at a kid? Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
A blind kid?
Yeah, he's not really blind. It's a film.
I guess.
But it's no random woman running up to a child in a hospital and punching her in the face like orphanage, like orphan. It's no that, but
No.
it's so that whole scene is.
I guess they
pointless.
just wanted to add ableism to the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on the
You've got
checklist.
they've got a
on-
bingo card.
on the checklist. It's
Trying to
on
win,
the
yeah.
producer's
Maybe
checklist.
they're like, if we're just
if we
everything
do all of them.
then people will know that we don't really mean it, because how could one film possibly
Be that
be
bad.
be anti that many things, that many concepts?
But yeah, the hot girls
Yeah.
turn up and go.
Yeah.
I say the hot girls because that's what they are set up as.
Yeah, that's what they're
7
referred
hot
to.
girls that
Yeah.
stand in a V formation. That's it. And they turn up to the twins and go, "We know your boyfriends. We're looking for them." Oh, the twins are angry. That's that whole scene. That's it.
And then there's some
Don't need to
knockoff
talk about it anymore.
Terminators, like these German guys that are also after the Continuum Transfunctioner.
Mm,
And then the twins finally break up with them, and I'm like, it's about time.
Yeah.
Fucking
but then they
time.
realise that they're in love with the
Well, no.
twins.
They need to get. We skipped the car. The getting the car out of the impound lot.
The car was. They go to the impound lot after, and then the car was sold at auction.
Yeah, but that
Um,
scene is mildly funny, and where the racism is. It's where the racism of this film is, because they've got sassy black woman.
Like him having to get the piece of paper and his arm gets stuck. That's kind of funny.
Oh, I remember that scene now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the racism bit of this movie.
Yeah.
There's that chick doll.
There's that bit. Yep. And then
But again,
they-
mild, not committal, non-committal racism.
Yeah, I guess this is kind of microaggression, the movie.
Yeah, and then they do that joke again.
yeah, they tell these. Well, first they're homophobic towards them.
Yep.
And then they
Yeah.
tell them to go to the Chinese food place because that's where they'll find the Continuum Transfunctioner, and so they'll get
And
stuck
then-
there because she keeps saying "and then."
Yeah, and then they do the and then joke
So-
again.
Yeah, and then
Again,
Zoltan
still no
people is
explanation.
back, and they're in bubble wrap suits.
They kidnap them, take them to a house. They get out. They break out, even though there are not enough people there for you to not recognize them.
Yeah,
They find out Zoltan, the nerdy guy in charge. They are going to leave the planet. Is the goal.
yeah,
Cool. That's. Oh yeah, they've kidnapped the
they've-
twins,
yeah.
and they're
So
like,
then they have to find the thing, and so they go to where the car is, and that's when they break into a private property, and there's
Yeah,
ostriches
taken.
in there, and he says, "Dude, it's a llama," and yeah,
Uh
yeah.
huh. Dan
Yeah.
found that really funny.
In the moment, yeah.
And then,
I think when you've just had the last however long of not very funny jokes, to have something that's
That's
kind
true.
of amusing is
mildly funny.
Yeah.
At least it's not
Feels-
offensive. I guess unless
Yeah.
you have strong feelings about ostriches.
and llamas, yeah,
Yeah. But then they get grabbed by a French guy, take
and
to that.
imprisoned, yeah.
In
There's
a
a guy
prison
called
cell.
Mark who's also in there, and I think it's the guy from Schitt's Creek. And
Yeah.
and oh well, he's
He's
in
overtly
scary
sexual.
movies. Yeah,
A
and
second tick in homophobia.
yeah. And then they're asked a bunch of random questions to get out, and because Chester watches the Animal Planet show all the time, he knows.
Which they set up earlier, and didn't have him watching anything about ostriches ever.
No, he's watching something about chimpanzees using sticks as tools, which has payoff later.
Pays off later, but not this scene.
No.
Yeah. But I guess you could argue there was a bit of setup.
Well, that he watches.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll give them that.
And then turns out the car's been stolen, and so then they find they have to go to Captain Stew's Space-Orama, which is an arcade.
So stupid. I want to die.
They have a locker key, and that's where all the suitcase of money is, and they got loads of tickets. And...
The trans woman turns up again, and then her trans man friend is also there. That's it.
They can speak Japanese for some reason.
Yep, because I've got to get that joke in there. Don't worry. I take it. I want to die. I just want this film to kill me.
Yeah, well, don't worry, we're nearly there. They get some random...
I'd only let it kill me
tickets.
if I could take it with me.
We're not nearly there. There's still a lot of this film left.
I'm going to bury this film in the Paris catacombs, where it belongs.
Throw it into the darkness.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to say it. This film doesn't deserve a real burial.
We won't
go
have
straight to hell.
We won't have a priest there. But, yeah, they...
Okay, right, let's rush through. They get a fake thing that's just a toy. They pretend that's the Continuum Transfunctioner. They give it to the Zoltans. The Zoltans and these jock kids get beaten up. The hot chicks and the knockoff Terminators are here. Guys. They realise it's a toy. Jesse ordered pizza for some reason. The Rubik's Cube is finally solved, and that's the Continuum Transfunctioner. But if they don't do something with it, the whole universe will be destroyed. And they need to figure out the true keepers of the Continuum Transfunctioner, and they do that by asking, what score did we get on the whole of a mini golf course? And it was a hole in one, because the only way that they got the lifetime supply of pudding is getting a hole in one on that thing. So, and they know who the right people is, and there's then the hot women transform into a giant woman, and a kid looks up her skirt.
A giant, completely different woman, by the way.
Yeah.
It was so weird that they weren't just like, maybe we keep one of those actresses.
Yeah, no. And the kid's like, oh, I'll ride that one, Daddy. And he's like, me too, son. And I guess that's a joke. And then they can't press the button, and so Chester's like remembers for the Animal Planet, and he uses his curly straw to press the button. And the giant woman explodes, and the Zoltans go to space, and the German guys have Men in Black flashes so that they'll forget everything, and they go back in time, and then their car was just behind a van the whole time.
Dude, that's where their car is.
Yeah, just behind the post van. They have these weird it's not over yet. They have these weird bracelets that they have to give to the twins as presents.
Yep.
And in return they get given hand-sewed berets, and they're like, oh, but they give the girls the necklaces, and guess what? The necklaces make their boobs bigger.
And they're all perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
And aren't at all worried that they have magical space necklaces.
That's
I'd be worried about like the radiation.
Yeah.
Coming off of those things.
Yeah.
I feel like I just had an actual brain aneurysm or something going through the rest of that plot.
Fuck, this film is bad. It has everything about it is bad.
I really hope you snuck something in that definitely did not happen into that plot summary.
Sadly not.
Because honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell. I can't believe how much of this film I've forgotten. Like, I didn't not pay attention. I'm not going to lie. I was also playing a video game, but like not like an intense one.
I think we need a Patreon episode where Helena shows us her house on The Sims at this point, because it'd be more relevant.
Yeah. We should do a let's play of The Sims.
Yeah.
Oh no, no.
Yes.
It's just me making like the same house over and over again.
Amazing. Incredible.
My Sims playthroughs are psychotic.
Just like me, whenever I try and play Skyrim again, I end up smithing for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I like making Art Deco 2-story houses.
Yeah.
This film is bad. Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch Dude, Where's My Car?
It has
Like, if I get, like, what are
horrifically.
good stoner movies? Like, the...
Harold and Kumar,
Kumar
Good
Girl- yeah, that-
Munchies.
I think
I've
I've
not seen
seen
that one
that.
in ages, but like I remember finding that kind of funny. It might be interesting to do that for the pod, actually.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
that might be the film that people think of when they think that Dude, Where's My Car is funny.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, they're virtually the same, right?
Or they watch
No.
they watch one and they're like, oh, let's put the other one on because that's also funny, and then it kind of merges.
But yeah, I had no nostalgia for this film at all.
I'm even wondering if it was good back then. Was this film ever good? It is making films worth it.
It's got 5.5 rating on IMDb.
I think
Yeah.
this film
Rotten
is
Tomatoes.
just fueled with nostalgia for a lot of people.
I think this
Right.
film has ruined films for me.
Yeah.
I don't think the art of filmmaking should be a thing anymore. No, you just stop. We should have stopped a long time ago, is what I'm realizing.
Oh, so this has got a critic consensus of 17%, which I feel like
Yeah.
is fair. And then, audience score 47%.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the audience that will vote for it are the audience that thought it was funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The You Might Also Like section is pretty telling.
Yeah.
But Little Nicky
Oh,
Big Mama's
that's
House.
yeah.
and
Very
Rat
much.
Race.
We
I
don't
remember
Rat
Rat Race. That
Rat
was
Race
pretty
wasn't
good.
as bad as this. I'll defend Rat Race in comparison to this.
In comparison to this, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
Rat Race shouldn't be related to this film.
But so straight away, the more like this is Harold and Kumar. The Go to White Castle, I do not remember that one.
Yeah, so that's Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies, but it's got a different name in America.
It's because
Oh, okay.
White Castle doesn't exist over here.
Yeah, so
Oh,
for us
okay.
it's called Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies.
Yeah.
I think I watched that film before I knew what stoner comedies or drugs were.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're just adults with big imaginations.
I just thought it was on. I was staying up late. It was on Comedy Central, and I thought it was funny. Let's do that this week.
And you were 24.
Speaking of numbers, what would you give this out of 10?
Fucking two.
Best thing
two,
we've done ever.
Yeah, two fucking repeated jokes. Two good jokes in the entire film. Two, not even good, decent, non-irritating jokes.
Technically, jokes.
Yeah. Two
Yeah,
jokes
I'm
that
gonna give
landed
this-
kind of well.
2 protected characteristics that they didn't insult in this movie. I don't think there's a pregnant woman joke.
Yeah, no. We'll work out the other one.
Yeah. I'm going to give this 3 made-up bits I put in the plot just to throw you guys off. But I actually didn't, like...
3 is
yeah.
high. Dan, I will say 3 is high.
I feel like I'm partly going from... At the time watching it, I was mildly entertained.
I mean, the cult, I guess you could argue, is a religion or belief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are
Not
they
brave
like
enough to do it, but
Scientology?
again-
I don't know.
So
Not
we've got
fucking-
age. Was anyone just an old? They were like old, and she was old and Chinese.
Yeah,
wasn't
but
really
they
about
didn't-
being
that wasn't
old.
really a character, yeah. I guess
Yeah,
8
so-
old
Yeah,
people in pregnancy, they got away with it.
yeah. Everyone else. So yeah, gender reassignment, being married or in a civil partnership. I guess that one didn't come up so much.
Well, they did the gay joke with the German.
Oh yeah. Being pregnant or on paternity leave, disability. Yeah, they hilariously, as Dan put it,
Hit a child.
hit a child with
blind
a
child.
ball, a blind child. Dan's favourite part. Honestly,
Yeah.
Dan's joke of the year.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing
Um,
I've seen all year.
Race, including colour, nationality, ethnic or national origin, religion or belief, sex or sexual orientation.
Yep. They hit them all, and they didn't commit to a single one.
With a baseball.
They didn't
Sorry,
do any of it.
that would be really funny if they... not really funny, but if they did just like line up protected examples of protected characteristics and then just lob a baseball at them all as a running joke.
That seems like it would be a running joke in basketball, is every time the ball gets hit into the crowd, it cuts to a different type of person being hit with a ball.
Yeah.
But that film was clever enough to not do that.
Yeah, exactly.
This film, however, not clever enough to think of anything outside of the checklist.
Well, I guess let's stop talking about this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Then I've been Dan.
Yeah, dead and buried.
I've been Michael.
And I've been Helena.
You can find this podcast on social media at Hilton Pod. That's at HILTM Pod. We're on Discord as well if you want to come in there, and it's probably just going to have loads of people saying "and then" just in a row. That'd be really
No,
funny.
I don't think the people that listen to this are.
No, they'll
bad.
probably no. They'll probably see that we've watched this film and be like, "Nah, I'm not listening to that one."
It's really this episode. This film is so bad that this episode isn't worth listening to.
Yeah.
And I'll
It's
say
good
it
to-
now at the end.
Yeah, now you've listened to
No,
it.
guys! Well, I suppose
Go-
at least we've said that at the end, like, so fuck you,
Yeah.
I guess.
You've already
Yeah.
listened to it. Go download some other better episodes again. Listen to them. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
Or you can sign up to our Patreon and help us keep doing stuff like this.
How is it better episode?
Yeah. What are we doing for the Patreon this week?
We're going to use your money to get rid of Dude, Where's My Car? We're going to get rid of everyone's memory of it. We're going to get rid of every copy of it.
Can we do the Atari
Yeah, the ET game.
ET game thing and
Yeah,
just
we're gonna-
bury every copy of this film?
We're going to bury it all, and then we're going to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind everyone and remove everyone's memories of this.
We're going to butterfly effect it. Another film with rapist apologists. Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, I was thinking of suggesting that for this because I watched that quite a lot as a teenager, and I was like, this is really edgy and cool, and now I'm like, it's not going to be.
No,
No.
that's what we're going to do. We're just going to get rid of this film. Bin it. Bin it. We're going to bin the whole film. Everyone that worked on it, gone.
I mean, that seems a little harsh to like the
Gone.